I asked Karl in the week, right, what animal would he never trust? Even if he got to know it and it was a pet and everything, what animal would he never trust? What was it?
Was this, a wasp?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you trust a wasp, Karl?
I just think that,
They're shifty?
all other animals, if you get them at an early age, you can sort of make them like you.
You can train them.
A wasp.
Nothing.
Never.
Is there anything do you think there's anything you could do that would kind of, win the favour and win the trust of a wasp? What would you have to do you think?
What if you had it from a little grub?
Yeah.
And you fed it, you had its favourite marmalade?
It doesn't affect it though, does it? A bee dies, doesn't it, if it does it, so it's not gonna, like, use it willy-nilly.
That's easy for you to say.
But a wasp, I
Do you think they sting arbitrarily? They just sting for the fun of it? They're like sort of like delinquent insects? Like
I think so, because last night, right, I mean, this is part of educating Ricky in a way, but something I learned last night was that tarantulas only bite you if you annoy it.
Right.
They don't, do you know how people say, oh, if you're in a sleeping bag living in a jungle, a spider will get in there and it'll bite you?
Yeah,
apparently not, you've got to really annoy it. The thing that it really hates is having its leg sort of twisted.
It hates having its leg twisted. Right.
Yeah, but that's more for...
Is that what they said in a documentary?
No,
actually said
almost certainly not, Steve. Almost certainly
Were you watching
not.
a documentary?
No, I was reading it.
Oh, you're reading it.
And, it was this guy...
Was it scrawled on the wall in like a public toilet?
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh,
It's
right,
part of the, thing.
Educating Ricky.
So, if you don't trust the evil wasp, what animal do you trust? What's your favourite?
Well, I also, I said to him, right, supposing your mind, right, your mind got put into any animal, right, and you've got to get from where you are now, right, to Glasgow, right, as an animal, right, but the authorities will be looking out for it.
Okay.
And it's shooting you, right, and, you went through loads, didn't you?
I was thinking about it for it must have took me about an hour.
So your mind, sorry, your mind has been put into an animal.
Animal, yeah, so it's you in this animal thinking you've got to get to somewhere.
But the authorities know you're in the animal?
Yeah, maybe your body is in Glasgow somewhere and you've got to get this animal to get to you so it can transfer its mind back into your body.
But the government knows that I'm...
Oh, we've all had that conversation.
So the government's going, Karl can't have his own brain back.
I only have it with Karl, don't I, these conversations, go on, yeah.
So you're on the way.
So think about it, you think about it just for a second, so, let's recap. Your body's in Scotland.
Right.
He's the only one that takes my question seriously.
Your brain is in London. Right? And there's like loads of security and stuff looking out in the sky for animals or looking on the field, seeing what's looking a bit suspicious. Trying to get to your body.
And they're shooting
the brain, and they're shooting everything and killing all the animals. What thing would you pick to get your brain to Scotland that wouldn't get caught? And I reckon I've got the answer.
A wasp?
No, because think about it, a lot of people get irritated if it sort of wanted to get a lift in a car going down the motorway. If someone's driving there's a wasp in the car, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
Cause a right accident. Yeah. So think of something that people wouldn't, you know.
And the clock's ticking as well.
You're taking this really very seriously, aren't you, Karl?
You've only got a couple
you've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? You have.
Yeah.
So, something with speed.
Yeah, it's
something that can travel quite speedily.
Well, that's... Yeah.
And something that's also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the sort of thing that's what you're going to do?
Yeah.
And is it a creature that's native to this country?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I've got no idea, Karl. What are you thinking?
Tell him.
A flea.
A flea?
Tell him why.
Think about it. Right, this flea, it's got my brain. It's dead small, the flea.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And so it goes, right, I've got to get to Scotland. So it jumps on someone who's going to Euston Station.
Right.
They don't know it's there.
No.
The government can't see it.
Government can't see it, Steve! Think of that statement! Think if you just tuned in.
Yeah.
Now,
people get on the train, goes to Glasgow or Edinburgh, wherever in Scotland it is. It jumps off, it goes right, jumps on someone else who's going the way it needs to go, gets there, still no one's seeing it, jumps on me, I get my brain back.
Yeah.
The government are like, phew.
And you feel confident that your brain would fit in that of a flea's?
Well, you said there was no problem with the size of it. You said you could...
there certainly wouldn't be.
So...
No.
I pretty much you could download everything you know into a flea.
Yeah.
So that's genius.
No, what, I was walking down the street and this pigeon, sparrow, whatever, did its thing. and it landed on my ear. And, I was like, oh, God. So, I thought, well, I'm not going to wipe it off.
Why not?
Because I don't want to get it on my hands. Right? So I thought I'd leave it till I get home. So it's probably about...
So you went to work?
Oh, met some friends.
Yeah.
About midnight.
Went on the pool.
So I was best man, so after the speeches, that is brilliant.
No, it was on there for, I don't know, half an hour or something like that.
Brilliant.
Get home and, get
Did it not kind of slowly ooze down your neck?
No, it's fairly hard.
Right.
And, sort of corroded my ear.
What are you talking about?
Why did you leave it there, though? Why not just wipe it off with something? I couldn't walk round with...
Pop in a newsagent and buy some tissues.
But then I look stupid.
What? Where is the bird smuck on your ear?
Brilliant. They're all wearing that now.
But no, what is it they eat?
It's alkaline. No, it's really strongly alkaline, isn't it? Or is it acidic? I don't know. Maybe someone knows. Is bird muck acidic or alkaline? But it's corrosive, yeah.
Weird, isn't it? Weird.
Right, this is Karl's method. He's not scared of the anaconda, the 30-foot long, biggest, scariest snake.
No, you were talking about stuff, weren't you, about in jungles and that, and animals.
That we do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember reading about, say if you're in the jungle, and you get tired and you go to sleep, right, and you sort of wake up and you feel something on your leg, and you look down, and it's an anaconda, right?
Yes.
And it's swallowing your feet. Because apparently they always go from the feet up. They never eat you from the head. So,
okay. Shall I save these points to the end? Cause
make a list of the points.
Because they always eat head first, because the way the fur goes, where they have to take a capybara or even a rat, they take it from the head first.
Make a point.
Okay,
make some notes.
Okay, so that's wrong.
We'll come back to
next,
later.
go on. So they always eat you from the feet, go on.
So they swallow in your feet, and it said on the website, if you wake up and you see this anaconda doing that, sort of eating away at your feet, don't panic.
Don't panic. I'm just writing this down. Don't panic. All done. Okay, go on.
Don't try and kick it off.
Okay.
Just let it sort of swallow you. But only up to your knees.
Okay. Why not kick it off straight away? Because
I think it sort of gets a bit angry, it starts thrashing about, and it can swallow faster, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing that bit.
Okay. Just put a question mark by that.
Okay, pop a question mark next
to
eat.
So
knees.
yeah, so
eat knees. So eat it up to your knees.
It's up to your knees, and then what you do is you get a knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you cut.
And how do you get a knife? Do you walk over to the kitchen?
I was gonna pop over, get knife. Where's that coming from? Get
the
knife.
You always have a knife.
Okay. Always have a knife, of course you do. Otherwise you're a fool. Always have a knife, okay?
Well, come on.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go into a jungle.
Always have a knife, okay.
Always have a knife, yeah.
Simple.
Could I just suggest something? You know, suppose you're wearing combat trousers, and the knife is actually in the trousers by the knee, the sort of pocket by the knee. What happens then? I suppose you could still reach in, into the mouth, couldn't you? So anyway, you've got a knife. Let's say you've got a knife. Let's say you've fallen asleep, the anaconda's chewing your feet, you let it eat up to the knees, you've got a knife, what do you do then, Karl?
Right. So it's up to your knees, and what you do, you get your knife that you got out of your pocket earlier, and you cut it at the mouth, right? Do you know, like, either side of the lips?
Right.
So you're sort of cutting it in half.
Right, like a Chelsea smile.
And it can't, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It can't do anything. It wasn't ready for that. It can't move about because it's got, like, your legs in its mouth. And peel it off and walk away.
Okay. My main point, really, is this, Karl. Never will an anaconda or any constrictor, python, boa constrictor, just start eating a sleeping man. He will crush you to death first. That's why they're called constrictors. They're not called gobblers, are they? Or holy swallowers. They're called constrictors. Why would he start eating something? Is that how they take down antelope? Just start chewing their leg? Oh, it's gone off. I'll tell you what, lads. They get together, the snakes got there and said, I'll tell you what, we're losing a lot of prey by just living at their ankles. They're running away. Let's crush them to death first so they can't move, then we can swallow them. You're a fool.
So anyway, right, so I was telling him this bit of information because we started a feature last week. Well, week before.
Sorry, Karl, can we just go back to the crushing you to death first?
Yeah, but well, I read it.
He's won there. He's beating you there, Rick.
Okay. Did it say what to do if it starts crushing you to death first? No. Did it say what to do if supposing it had this meeting? It had this meeting, and it started crushing you, and you woke up and it was actually round your chest. And every time you tried to take a breath and breathed out a little bit, it just tightened its grip because it can feel that. What'd you do then?
You sort of tighten yourself up anyway, because I've read about that.
Yeah.
If one does start wrapping around you, you sort of make yourself into a ball, first of all, and it'll wrap around you, but it's alright because you're protecting your lungs, so it can't crush you, and then you just sort of shout for help. And you
shout for help with this 30-foot snake. Do you know how it works? It gets as tight as it can. It can feel actually as tight as it can, right? With these huge muscles, right? Yep. Right? When you leave a bit of breath out, it tightens again.
You won't be that out of breath. You haven't been running anywhere, so you can just go.
What? And when do you get the new mouthful of oxygen?
Just breathe very slowly, like you do.
How? Do you know what breathing is? Do you know what breathing is? It's extending your rib cage, right? Intercostal muscles between the ribs. Contract like that. Okay, making the rib cage expand, which pulls air in through. It's like a bellow. That you can't just breathe via the mind. It's a physical process. It's your rib cage pulling over.
Maybe I'm special, but I can do little breaths without my rib cage.
Play a record, Steve.
Yeah, you're special.
I called him a couple of days ago.
Of course you did.
And I went. It was the weekend. I went. What are you doing? He went. Oh, just in Regent's Park and that. What are you doing? He said, just going for. Oh. Jesus! I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. I went, what? He went, a caterpillar just fell out of the sky. God, it's there, it's wriggling around. I went, sure a bird didn't just drop it. He looked at it and went, oh yeah. There's a bird.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
For a moment he thought caterpillars were raining from the sky.
I thought I was in chicken licking.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Why did you think a caterpillar had fallen out of the sky?
I don't know, it just startled me a bit.
I love Carl being startled!
I like the idea of him straight on the phone to Trevor McDonald. Look, Trevor, there's caterpillars, insects falling out of the sky. They're falling out of the sky now. Put it on the news, quick. You sure there wasn't a bird? Oh, there was a bird. Yeah, sorry, Trev. Bye.
But it was after, like, I hung up the phone and that from you. I sort of, sat there for a bit watching it.
I imagine him cross-legged, just in front of it.
But do you know what? Because of his shape, the shape of his head, and his sort of IQ, I bet the caterpillar was thinking, Mama.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Go on.
It was sort of running about all over the place, right, Steve? So the caterpillars have loads of feet and that, don't they?
Wow! Well, they have 6 legs. They're actually larvae of an insect. They have 6 legs, but they have little sucker things to hold on to the back of cabbages and that.
No, they've got more than that.
They've got. I'm telling you, they've got 6 true legs. Trust me. Trust me, I'm a scientist.
And you were thinking what, Carl?
Well,
but they've got little pods. They've got little pseudo pod legs and little suckers. Yeah.
But it was running about like everywhere, right? Mental, but sort of running off to the left, and then it sort of went back to where it was. Then back, you know, went right and what have you. And I'm just thinking, whoever gave them the legs, right? What's the point if they don't know where they're going and that? Do you know what I mean? If you can get about—
Imagine that sentence. Did you hear that sentence? Can we play that sentence back?
No, I don't think we can.
Imagine who gave him that legs.
Whoever gave him them legs, what's the point if they don't know where they're going and that?
And that. Always and that.
And that, but maybe you just, to be fair to the caterpillar, with all its legs, okay, and you know where it was going, it had just been plucked from its house by a bird, shot up into the sky, and then dropped from 80 feet, hitting the ground.
Onto the head of a weird, bold-shaved monkey.
It was probably concussed.
Yeah, it's one of them things again, though.
But it still knew more about the world than you. How does that make you feel?
I just think it's a waste of time having all them feet. It's the same thing as the,
now it's got feet now!
It has a nightmare buying shoes, doesn't it, Carl?
all the, what was it you were saying about leeches and that, because we were talking about insects.
Well, they're not insects. They're not insects.
What are they?
Well, I think they're probably, probably platyhelminth. Probably sort of like a flatworm type thing.
That's what you were thinking, wasn't it, Carl?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know what the phylum is, but they'd be, you know.
What was the leech, what was an interesting
well, there's an experiment, where you get a maze for a leech, and there's a bit of blood thing, and it eventually finds its way to the blood. Okay, and then it knows.
Okay.
And if you put it back to where it starts, it knows where it goes straight towards it because it's learnt it. If you liquidise that leech
Right.
and feed it to some leeches who have never done the maze, because of a thing called chemical memory, they find their way straight to the blood.
That is extraordinary.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
We should try that at Hampton Court one weekend. but maybe with some tourists. We'll just blend up some tourists.
Or the people on them, I'll tell you who would do it, those people who go on Celebrity Love Island.
Any of them.
They will do anything to get they will be liquidised. People have enemas, they will do they wank off pigs, they will do anything to get on telly. What about that? Be liquidised and fed to another, get one D-celebrity slapper, liquidise her and feed her to another slut.
So we blend
and see
up
if she
Happy
can
Tippers.
find her way, and see if she can find her way to Channel 5.
Yeah.
What a brilliant show, hosted by Jimmy Carr.
Of course.
That'd be amazing. I went, I bet you were quite good at football, weren't you? And I actually thought he looked like quite a natural, you know, I thought he'd be good, he's from the north, and I thought that's all he'd have.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And he went, I said, I suppose you're quite good at football, and he turned, the quick as flash, and went, I've scored once. Right? He said, and that's because I was being chased by a bee. And I went, save it!
Yeah.
He went, no, I said, please save it, because I wanted to see that. No, you can continue now.
Please tell us the rest of the story. You've scored a goal once
Well, you've
because you're being chased by a bee.
Yeah, you've done it now, really. I was on the,
There must be more to that story, man.
I was in the school team. I wasn't that good as a kid at football, to
Right.
be honest. Mainly down to, I think it's because my dad wasn't into football.
Right.
And I think that's the way it works, isn't it? If your dad's into it, then you could be a footballer when you're older.
Sure.
Yep.
Because you're into it. And so I was in the school team because I got on with the other lads. They let me in the team.
Popular guy, yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, I was stood there doing nothing because I didn't really know what to do. I never knew which way I was meant to be shooting.
Yeah.
Got all that messed up.
Yeah, that is a
And I just stood there, right, and with my hands behind my back, and something landed on me on like this part of my thumb.
You can't just point, it's radio.
It's this bit here.
Right, yeah.
The
base of
fleshy
your thumb,
bit, the
yeah.
fleshy bit of the
Fleshy
thumb,
thumb.
yeah.
And I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked down, and
It
it
was
was a
a
bee.
thumb. Oh, it was a bee,
It
yeah.
was a bee on me. So I start running,
Yeah.
try to get away from it, and bees, actually something interesting about bees, more chance of getting stung by a bee in windy weather than any other sort of weather.
That's incredible.
Anyway, so I'm running away.
And he said there was no more.
Extraordinary. I've already learnt many, many things. You're being chased by the bee. It's
So
windy.
I'm running. and
It's
I
on your
thought,
thumb, is it still on your thumb now?
It's sort of gripping onto me like a stag
Clever,
beetle.
clever.
I love it. Oh,
Or a bee.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm running, and I'm running towards like the goal.
Yeah.
Oh god! And the ball comes to me.
Yes.
Wallop, get it in.
Brilliant. What happened to the bee though? Did it sting you?
They die, don't they?
I mean, ultimately it died, sure, but at that particular moment,
I
did
mean,
it sting you?
this was probably about 20 years ago, so I imagine.
No. Once a bee stings
So
you,
did
that's
it sting
Yeah,
you?
but did it sting you?
Yeah.
Right, that was the question.
When did it sting you?
When I was playing football.
Carl, do you mind me asking, you say you're on the school football team. Was there just 11 boys at your school? Was that how you got in the squad?
Listen, Carl. Oh, what I mean is, at what point in this story did the bee sting you? Straight away?
After
or
half time.
Play a record.
Went into the aquarium. Mental the amount of fish that are knocking about. They keep saying like, sea levels are rising and all this, and it's because the icebergs are melting. It's not to do with the icebergs melting. It's because there's too many fish in it. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of some of the fish, the water will drop. Simple, basic science. The weirdest thing that I saw in there is it's got to be this. Right, look at that little sloth. It's called a sloth, right? Which suggests that it's lazy, and yet we're saving them. Look at it. I mean, the zoo shuts at like 5:30, right? So animals can have a kip. So by rights, that should be awake now. 14 quid a pay to come in here. Look, can't even be bothered opening its eyes. I don't know if it's cruel or not to sort of have them in there. You know what I mean? Look, that one's not stressed out. If you look at it, looks quite happy. So, don't know why they worry about it. It's the same the way people sort of moan about drugs being tested on animals. I sort of think, well, it depends, doesn't it? If the drug's aspirin and the monkey's got headache, is it tight? Do you know what I mean? I'm always looking on the internet, see what weird stuff's knocking about, because they're always finding new sort of, you know, new creatures and stuff. They've found this spider in the jungle, right? 3 foot long, eats chicken. It's weird, isn't it? See, people moan saying, oh, you shouldn't lock animals up and all the rest of it, but to be honest, I wish it was locked up in there. The idea that that's roaming about in a jungle, get it locked up. And what's weird is, why have they only just found that? 3 foot long, do you know what I mean? How have they missed that? Noah made a bit of an error when, you know, he saved everything. I would have had like a little checklist as they were all getting on. Do you know what I mean? There's someone checking them out, quizzing them. Right, what's getting on here? Right, it's a giraffe. What do they do? Now, right, leave them. Next.